The information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Listening to this podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship with Foyle Legal. For advice tailored to your situation, please consult a qualified legal professional. Welcome to Personal Injury Claims Explained by Foyle Legal, your trusted source for understanding personal injury claims in Western Australia. Each week, we simplify complex legal issues, from motor vehicle accidents to workplace injuries, so you can confidently navigate your rights and claim the compensation you deserve.
Okay, so picture this. You're just cruising along, right? Not a worry in the world. And then, bam!
Oh, no.
Fender bender. Right. Not fun, but it happens, sadly. And actually, we got an email from a listener in Perth. They're thinking about all this just-in-case stuff, you know?
Smart.
Right, and they sent us this blog post from Foyle Legal, that law firm, the Perth one. They're all about car accident claims, right?
Yeah, those guys see it all. Car accidents, motorcycle crashes, truck stuff.
The works?
They're the pros the insurance companies see every day. So when they talk WA law, I listen.
Exactly. So we're diving deep into their advice today, and let me tell you, their post-accident checklist. Talk about practical.
Oh, for sure. That's gold.
It's like they know you're going to be a bit frazzled after a crash, so they give you this super clear list, like what to do right then and there.
It's a lifesaver, especially, if you end up having to file a claim.
Exactly. So let's break it down. First things first, after you make sure everyone's okay, of course.
Yeah.
What should people do?
Details. Swap everything. Names, numbers, addresses, license info, insurance. I mean, it sounds basic, but you can easily forget something when you're stressed.
Oh, 100%. Especially if you're a bit shaken up, right? Thank goodness for smartphones, eh?
Right. Snap those licenses, insurance cards, even the damage to the cars. It's all about that visual record.
Smart. Now, what about witnesses? If someone saw what happened?
Witnesses are like the holy grail, especially for personal injury cases. Get their contact info, name, and number at least, because their story. Huge difference if it's a he said, she said thing later on.
Totally. Because memories can be fuzzy. An outside perspective is super valuable. What about the actual accident scene itself?
Pictures. Photos of where everything happened, the cars,
Yeah.
the skid marks, even the weather. Believe it or not, all those details can come in handy.
It's like creating a timeline, but with visuals.
Exactly. Oh, and here's a big one people miss. If you think you might have a personal injury, like even just a sore neck, file an online crash report.
Really? I wouldn't have thought of that. You think like, oh, I only report if it's super serious or the police come, right?
Common mistake.
Yeah.
But that report creates an official record, links those potential injuries back to the accident. If things go south later on, you've got proof. And it's super easy right from your phone.
See, this is why we do this, folks. These little golden nuggets of info. Okay, so that checklist really made me think about acting fast. The blog post mentions as soon as practicable when it comes to making a claim. What exactly does that even mean?
As soon as practicable. Yeah, it's one of those terms that sounds really official, but is actually pretty vague.
So you don't need to have a lawyer on speed dial from the side of the road.
Right. But you also shouldn't wait weeks to get things in order.
So we're not talking about a 24-hour deadline, but more like, don't let it drag on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The more time passes, the harder it is to find evidence. Memories fade. Witnesses disappear.
It's like the legal version of strike while the iron's hot, right?
Exactly. The sooner the better, for sure. You're just in a much stronger position if you need to make a claim.
Okay, that makes total sense. Speaking of things you might not think of, the post mentions how even minor accidents, they can have lasting effects. Like whiplash. You walk away from a fender bender, figure you're fine, but...
And that's the thing. What starts as a sore neck can turn into chronic pain, headaches, all sorts. And that's claimable.
It's like the gift that keeps on giving, but not in a good way.
Sadly, yeah. Affects your work, your mental state, everything. And it all factors in.
So it's not just the immediate damage, it's the ripple effect.
Exactly. And this is where that online crash report, remember we talked about that? Even if you think it's minor, that report links it to the accident officially. Things get worse down the line, you've got backup.
So smart. Okay, so say you did everything right. Evidence, reports, doctor, the works. Now it's settlement time. $1 million question. How much can you actually expect?
If only it were that easy. Honestly, settlement amounts in WA, all over the place. How bad your injuries are, lost income, how it affects what you can earn in the future, all gets thrown in.
So some high-powered exec who can't work because of a back injury, they're looking at way more than someone who sprained their wrist and missed a few weeks, right?
Exactly. And don't forget those hidden costs we talked about. Ongoing treatment, how it affects you mentally, even the cost of changing your home if you've got mobility issues now. Good lawyer factors that all in.
Okay, so how do you make sure you're not getting lowballed? What are the secrets to a fair settlement in WA?
Well, it's interesting, right? We get all into the nitty-gritty of the law, but sometimes it's the simple things.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we've talked about evidence, deadlines, those hidden costs, but really it comes down to you.
Me, as in the person who was injured.
Yeah, you have a responsibility to minimize the damage, even though it wasn't your fault.
Okay, hold on. I'm listening. So even if someone else caused the accident, I still have to try and limit the impact it has.
Exactly. It's called mitigating your damages, legally speaking. Not about blame, but about helping yourself recover the best you can.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to see it. So, what are some examples of that? Mitigating damages. After a car accident, I mean.
Let's say you've got that whiplash, right? Doctor says physiotherapy, but you, not so keen.
I can relate to that.
Figure, maybe some painkillers will do it.
Easier, right.
There's the catch. Later on, if you're claiming compensation, insurance might say, hang on, you didn't do everything you could to get better, skip those physio sessions. Suddenly your whiplash, worse because you didn't follow advice. They could argue that.
And that affects my settlement.
You bet. It's this balance, your health, but also protecting your rights.
So it's not just seeing the doctor, it's doing what they say, even if it's a drag.
Exactly. And this goes beyond the physical stuff too. Mental health is huge after an accident.
Yeah, makes sense. Even if you weren't physically hurt, that stress can get to you.
Big time. And just like those physical injuries, getting help, smart move, shows you're taking care of everything.
So it's like the system wants you to be proactive.
100%. You've still got control, even when you might feel like you don't.
That is a really good point.
And it's not just those big steps either, it's the little ones too. Every choice matters.
So to wrap up this whole deep dive then, we've learned a lot about car accident claims, specifically in WA. The time limits, the evidence, how even small accidents can have big impacts, and being proactive in your recovery.
Nailed it. Hopefully none of our listeners will need this info, but hey, now they've got it.
Knowledge is power, as they say. But as we've learned today, it's taking action that really makes the difference.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there for today. Remember, we're always here to break down those tricky legal bits, one deep dive at a time.
Thank you for listening to Personal Injury Claims Explained by Foyle Legal. We hope this episode helped clarify your rights and next steps in your injury claim. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and visit foylelegal.com for more useful information. See you next time.